Peace, love, and light. Peace, love, and light. Full video. The supernatural. Let's go right in, people. Showed you on the teaser. You see the individual. I'm not going in on this one. Just this one right here. See the symbolism of the hive mind. That looks to be like a queen bee. That's big time symbolism right there, folks. But let's go in. Let's adjust some of this light. Pull it down. Shows you on the teaser the entities that's around the glasses. Shout out to Mara Magdalene. She just did a video on River Phoenix and she showed how the glasses yoke the demon to the vessel. And I want to show y'all two sets of eyeballs that's in here, folks. That's the iris, and this is the iris. Why does this individual have two eyeballs and one eye? I'm going to let that focus in so you can see that. You see that, folks? Now I'm going to zoom out so you can see that's two sets of eyeballs and one eye. Okay, over here, that shot is cut off, but we're definitely in this side right here because this is the visual. Super clear visual. As somebody mentioned earlier, they said, Riz, did you see all the look like zombies and stuff that were... Yeah. I mean, it's reflection in the glass, so we don't know who's standing across from them. But we're going to zoom in. Let the focus catch up, and there we go. Zoom in a little tighter. It's a lot of activity back there, folks. But back to the two sets of eyeballs. That's so clear to see. I'll zoom out some more so you get a very good perspective that we're looking at two eyeballs behind one glass. That's his face right there. You can see the eye right there. Then he has another eyeball right next to it. And moving on. Showed you the entity that was in his hair. Let that focus catch in. There we go. Little critter. Pyramid shape on his forehead. Eyeballs are consistent. Mouth, nostril, head. It's blended in like gray hair on the side of his head. If you don't pay attention to it, you'll miss it. But there it is. And he has another entity right off the top of his glasses into his eyebrow. I'm going to use this shot right here because it's less light. Let it catch up and focus. Right here. See this little guy? I'm going to zoom in tighter and hold it still. Pull down some light. Right here. Crazy, folks. Moving on. Okay. Got some crazy shots that's all in the same vein. Shout out Bob Cousy. He's showing how these demonic entities are literally embedded with human beings. This is a picture he took of a person out. You see he got a fisherman hat on or a bucket hat. You see he's wearing modern clothes. but this is the image that Bob picked up. This demon just possessing a person, and we're showing it. Shout out Bob Cousy. I'm gonna zoom in on the face of the entities. Seeing is believing. Peace, love, and light to all my new subscribers. Welcome to the channel. And we'll zoom out and you can see it's wrapped around this person. Of course, let the focus catch up. It's not a shadow, folks. Understand that. There's no hat on this dark mask that's behind this man. And if I zoom in really tight, I'll show you the face of the demonic entity that's probably looking right at Bob. There's one eye. There's a second eye. Here's his nose and head. See? It's not a shadow. This thing doesn't have a shadow of a hat on. It's a whole nother separate entity. Hold that in tight. Shapeshifters, folks. Believe it or not, you live in a supernatural world. I'm here to make you aware of it. That's the face of the entity that's literally engulfing this man, possessing him. Okay. And that's the full shot. Look at that. It's cradling this guy, holding on to him. You ever see the movie Shudder, where the American guy killed a Japanese woman and then her ghost was on his back to the point where as though he had back pains, headaches, and migraines because he didn't realize he had a spirit of a dead woman he killed riding his back? Yeah, check out the movie Shudder. Shout out Bob Cousy again. Took pictures out at the on the ocean. People on boats. And you can see the entity that's inside of this man. I'll zoom in. Look at this, folks. This is crazy. If you have any questions, you can contact Bob Cousy. He'll be in the comments. And he has a channel. I've displayed a lot of Bob's work. It's really crazy and 100% legitimate. That's the entity that's inside of the vessel. Let's zoom in on his one eye. It appears to be wearing some type of head cover with a dark line going through it. Almost looks like a Shriner fez. Or a fez of a Moor. Can't make it up, folks. Demonic entities inside of vessels. Empty cedars. Moving on. Bob again. He sent me these emails and I'm like, wow, this will really go good with my next video. I'm going to pull up some light. And everybody in the crowd is on like they live. Even the guards in the back. Let's zoom in on the guards in the back. The reptilians. Just take a look, folks. Now I'm going to zoom in on his face close. You see that the scales or bony ridge that's on this creature's head? There's the front of his face and there's his eye. You see his uniform and his head is poking out of that. Then I'm going to slide over to the next guy. Wearing a hat. Look at the face of this creature. Moving on to the next one. Now, if you can't see that some type of dinosaur or reptile looking creature, I mean, clearly. Mouth open, craziness on the head. And that's all sticking out of uniforms, folks. Now let's go to the crowd. We're going to scroll through the crowd and I'm going to show you. Dead eyes, see no future. It's a mosh pit of demons. Just scrolling through the crowd. I mean, this looks like the Grim Reaper back here. See some type of crazy appendage coming out of the hood. Still scrolling through the crowd. A lot of soulless people in hell. This person's face is totally not even there. It's just something different. Give you the full pic. Oh, this person looks like they have on the scary movie mask. Unbelievable. Zoom all the way out and give you the full pic. Craziness, folks. Yeah. Bob again said he was at the carnival. The guy saw him and started to freak out. I wonder why. Doesn't matter what color you are. Black, brown, white. Either you have a soul or you don't. Either you're a demon or you're a light being. Type of face is that? You tell me. See the hair, the afro, everything. The hoodie. And look at the kid. Let's go to the dad. He was pissed. Crazy. Shout out Bob. Bob always got some fire emails he'll send me. Unbelievable stuff. Moving on into our supernatural realm, our world of weird stuff that will not stop and will never stop, folks. You know what? Let me take you to an old picture I did on the spirits of the woods, entities and beings. Let me adjust this light. Let's get it together. And I'm going to zoom in and show you this entity that's standing in the woods. See if it'll translate through. Yeah, there he is. Zoom in some more. Okay, let the focus catch up. There we go. We're going to have to pull down some light for this to translate through. But I'm going to put my pen on his face. Okay, here's his shoulder, his beard, his nose, and he's wearing a hat. He looks like a fisherman. Let's zoom out a little bit, see if we can pick that up clearer. There we go. Right there, folks. Sam, go back to a normal zoom, pull down some more light. And we'll zoom out and I'll show you in perspective where this entity's standing. And I took this riding down the highway out the car. Still see his face lit up right there. Now I'm going to zoom in on that point of light to show you that this is not a fluke. Sam? Unbelievable stuff. And then we got entities in the woods standing behind the guy right here. Sam with his mouth open. Strange looking face and head garment. I'm going to zoom all the way in. See the strangeness coming off his forehead, mouth open, and he's standing right behind this guy. Moving on, folks. People talk about Bigfoot. Here's two of them. Spirits of the woods. Face, face, female, female, male. Now I'm just going to hold that tight for a second. Bear with me. Okay. I had to reduce some more light that was around me. And here they are. Zoom in on this one to show you the face, the eyeballs, and everything. And the antlers that's coming out of his head. It's perfectly camouflaged, folks. I showed this before in one video called Spirits of the Woods. It was a 1 and 2. We're just bringing these back again for new subscribers. And I'll go right over to the other Bigfoot or Sasquatch type creature right here. Adjust the light on that one so you can see his face. Here's his lips, head, and eyes. Zoom all the way out so you can see them. They're the anomaly that's in the trees or the brush. And this is not on the ground. This is high up, folks. I'm going to take you to the original picture. I think I have it here. Yes, here it is. Now, I'm going to zoom all the way out to show you where they are. There's nothing like them around them. Okay? And this is what people call Bigfoot or Sasquatch. Spiritual entities, physical beings that live in the woods. You will walk right past them because they blend in with the trees. Zoom out some more. Now this one right here is the stereotypical Bigfoot that everyone says they see all the time. I'm just going to hold that in, let the focus catch up. Pull down some light. See the giant cone head, eyes, nose, mouth. I'm going to pull that in tight. And this one has antlers coming out of his head. I mean, you can see the ears sticking out from this thing right here. Seeing is believing. I'll zoom out for perspective. I mean, you see this thing's lips from here. I got a few more anomalies in here I want to bring to you. Okay. We have this black woman or strange spirit of the woods that's just like hanging out in a tree. Here's her face, and she's wearing a yellow garment. I mean, yellow, super yellow. And I'm going to zoom in on her face so you can see it. That you can see it's a woman or a feminine entity or being. Let me super zoom out. Yes, better. There we go. She's right here. Now I'm going to zoom in extreme on her. There we go. I'm going to try to get the face to pop out without blur. There we go. You see one eye, two eye, nose, elf looking ears, and her mouth. I'm going to hold that in tight. Peace, love, and light. Now I'm going to zoom out. And there she is. Robe, arms stretched out. I'll show you the detail in the cuff of her robe. Her yellow garment. Her arm is stretched out. There's the cuff going around her wrist. Here's her body and her legs sitting also feminine in a tree. You can see the hip and leg come down through her garment. Very clear to see, folks. And when I zoom out, it's even clearer. And right next to her, more entities and spirits of the woods. I'll zoom in on this giant dog-looking entity that's right next to the woman. It's right here. I'm going to pull up some light. There we go. Let's get them both in frame. The woman and the giant entity that looks like a floppy-eared, gigantic dog right next to her. I'll zoom in more on the creature so you can see his eyes, his nose, the front part of his mask or mouth, giant ear that's flappy and folded down, humongous head, and has a appendage on the top of its head. And here's his body. Look at the eyes, folks. I mean, you clearly can see the black nose, the cavity that encapsulates the eyeballs. Look at the detail in the ear. Unbelievable. And I'll adjust the light and pull them both in the frame together. Craziness, folks. Moving on. See what we got here. Now, this is a picture I posted on a teaser. Houses, roof. Zoom in on a weird looking fake moon. That's a construction. As I'll always say. Look at this. You can see that it's split open to give whatever phase of the moon this is. Why does the moon look like like a eggshell cracked open? I'll pull down the light so there could be no doubt. Look at the detail and design that's on the outer part of the dark part of what people believe to be the moon. You can see the geometry, detail, and design that's on it, that's causing the moon to look like a slit, where this piece has slid over, like a mechanical machine. You can see the construction and double-edged lip that's going around, and the etchings and markings that's all over it. Look at this. It has a serpentine pattern on it, like a snake. Then it looks like a maze on the outside part. You see geometry, like small squares, literally like a maze. Then I'll zoom out and show you the entity that's right on the roof in front of someone's chimney, just hanging out. Giant wolf creature or Bigfoot or Yeti. That's a zoom in of the face right there, y'all. I'm just going to hold that in there because understand this rectangular shape is the top part of the chimney. Okay? All this right here is the shoulders of the creature. Understand that, folks. I know this area. I know this house. And it should not be a creature standing in front of the chimney trying to blend in where we can see detail of fur. Okay? That shouldn't be. Tight zoom in on the face. See the eye, nose, crazy looking dog mouth, and the pattern, the brindle looking pattern on the fur. Look at that. And it looks laced with entities and beings all in it. Look at that. Tell me that's not supernatural. That shouldn't be on anyone's roof. Come on. You can see his face from here. And you can see the fake moon from here. I'll zoom out some more. And you still can see like it's something standing in front of this chimney. Let's zoom out some more. And you still can see that's anomalous. It's crazy, folks. This is a screenshot from the teaser. So this could be even more clear. I mean, you can see the eyebrow ridge going across this animal's face. If you understand anatomy. I overstand a lot. Unbelievable, folks. I wanted to bring this picture back to show this giant craft with this face on it because I did it on subscriber pics and someone sent it in and I said, oh, I know that ship well because it's the same face. Always looks like some type of old hag or a demonic being. I mean, you clearly can see the hair, the eye, the nose, the elongated chin, the mouth. Looks like some type of weird looking feminine hag or creature. You've seen it in multiple movies. It's not new. But then when we cross over right here, you see the giant, massive craft. You see all the geometry in it. That's not pixelation, folks. That's actually the ship. And I'll hold that in tight for you. And let's take you to the top part of the craft. It almost looks like an aircraft carrier, folks. With all types of like decks and cockpits and looks like weapons and small cities. And I see squares and rectangles. And yeah, that's not pixelation, folks. And you see the strange looking stuff that's making the hair of the entity. That looks living. Yeah, I'm just going to take you down the massive craft. And let's pull this up right here to show you that. Look at the underbelly of it. This is a major construction, folks. With a crazy looking face. Oh, I did this one before too. I called this Batman's vessel. You can see it's a cloaked out UFO ship. Looks like tentacles coming out the back of it. You can see the cockpit, and you can see the wings of it. I'm going to hold that in tight. Seeing is believing. And I'm going to pull the light up just a tad so you can see the entity that head is sticking out of it. Let's zoom in. See his little face with the black eyes? Hey, Matlock Soap. Seeing is believing. Peace, love, and light. Here for a reason, not a season. And I never knock what anyone believes. I'm show you the feminine entity I caught camouflaged in a tree. Did it in an older video, but for new subs, I'm here for you. Bring you some fire off the rip. And I'm going to zoom in tight on the face, and you can see its eyeballs, his hair, the woman's hair is braided, okay? Here's her weird-looking face, and is wearing some type of apparatus or suit. Let's zoom out some more, okay? And you'll see its legs stop here. Super zoom on this one. You see it is wearing something on the front of its suit. It has like a round circle, a vector shape with lines going through it, and it's dark right here. I'll zoom in on it. Hold it in tight. Just bring up some light. Everything I just described is right there. I'll bring down the light more so her face comes through. You see the eyeballs even at distance. You see the braided hair. It's intelligent. Something doesn't get up and fix his hair, not unless it has some form of intelligence. Okay? I don't see animals in the wild braiding their hair. They might groom themselves, but it's a next level of consciousness and awareness when you beautify yourself. Okay? Or braid or twist your hair into a style. That's high level intellect. Understand that. Just on a small level of being living. Moving on. Same shot of the woman in the tree. There we go. With the strange looking emblem on her chest. Face and braided hair.